Well, good morning, everybody. Welcome to See More People, and today's expert is Michael Griffiths. Now, for those of you that know Michael, he doesn't need any introduction. For those that have not met Michael before, he's classified as the global referral guru. And what he is masterful at doing is creating easy things to do to create leads that want to buy. And today he's going to be talking about how to create 100 clients, not leads, 100 clients in 12 months. Now, Michael and I have been, I've been coached by Michael now for nearly 3 years now. And I must say, what he has in his head, he wants to share as much as possible. So what I'm going to suggest you do is you have a trusty pen handy and write down the things. Now, he'll go like the clappers, but there will be times for you to actually ask some questions. Now, if it's in full flow, what I'll ask you to do is just use the chat box and he'll get to those questions, because it's not just a webinar, seminar type scenario. It's an opportunity to ask an expert about your lead generation and generating clients. So with no further ado, welcome, Michael. Thanks for joining us, mate.
Absolute pleasure, Steve. Thank you very much. Sorry, I was just getting my last little things ready. Really excited, as always, to be able to just jump on, share, get some great stuff done. So let's go straight into it. I'm going to share screen. The teacher in me, and being a former teacher, goes, let's be interactive, let's learn. We learn through visuals, we learn through doing, we learn through actually being involved. So I don't know anyone that's ever learnt by sitting there watching the screen and doing nothing. So make sure you got pen and paper and make sure that we are ready to go. Okay, so I believe we've got three things that we really want to be able to get through. But the big theme of today, what I want to go through, is how to make sure you are positioning yourself to attract clients rather than having to chase clients. And the majority of people have to chase clients. And they just believe that's how it is. That's actually what business is. You chase clients and you hustle every day, and eventually you grow a business. And that's, you might, if you're not dead beforehand, by just being worn out and tired. So let's change that, and let's actually go, how do we position ourselves so clients are coming to you every single day? Like, if you need 6 sales calls booked in for the week, great. That shouldn't be hard. You should have 6 people coming to you. You shouldn't have to be going and chasing other people. So I'm going to start here. And we're going to start with just simply understanding clients. So there are 4 different types of people right now in your sales and marketing world. There is what we call grey people. These people do not have the pain point that you solve. They don't want a solution. They don't give a hoot about you or your business. You do not need to be talking to, speaking to, or trying to please grey people. You then have red people. I have the pain point, but I don't know how strong it is. I don't know if I really need a solution to it. It might be nice. It might be a dream down the track. But right now, I'm just sort of looking around. So they're very lukewarm people. Then you get yellow people. I've got the pain point. I know I want a solution. I don't really know who from. I've got a couple of questions or obstacles before I'm really ready to buy. And then finally, you've got green people. I've got the pain point. I want a solution. I believe you've got the right solution. Can we please see if there's a fit? Now, for most businesses, they're doing this. They are going, how do I chase green people? And then how do I sell to them? That's their whole sales and marketing mentality. Well, I hate to tell you that there is like 2% of green people who are ready to buy what you're ready to sell at any given time. That's it. So if all of your effort is going into purely green people, you can see why business is hard. You can see why we don't have as many sales calls as we want, as many clients making as many sales as we want. Okay? Sure, can you influence sales? Of course you can. But let's take a step before that and go, how do we make sure that we actually bring enough people in to our pipeline, into our CRM, into the pool of people. So that means that we want to make sure that we're casting a net to go over red, yellow, and green people. So instead of just having 2 stepping stones, we talk about the 4 stepping stones. We talk about what things are we going to do to attract people to us? How are we going to then get people when they're ready, when they've turned green, to raise their hand and say, yes, I'm ready? Then what process do we have that qualifies to make sure that they're actually a person that we can solve their pain point? And then from there, it's about, is there a fit or not? That should be the 4 stepping stones, that we should have a process in place for each of them that allows that to take through. So that has to be the starting point with the mentality. If you're constantly going after green people, it's hard. I was on a call with a person this morning from Chicago, and we got into, they do some great business consulting work. What are you doing right now to be able to get your clients? Well, I reach out to 600 people on LinkedIn a month. I get 300 connections. From those 300 connections, I would get 20 conversations, which gets me 3 clients. He knew his numbers back to front. But you think about how tiring that is. And the simple fact was, he is only after the green people. He doesn't realize that there's other people. So I shared the example and I went, well, hold on. I could reach out to 600 people on LinkedIn. I would get probably 500 odd connections because my message would be better than yours. From those 500 connections, I would probably end up with about 460 in my CRM within the first 30 to 60 days. And somewhere over time, whether it was within the next week, month, year, 4 years, I'd probably finish up with 80 to 100 clients. As he sat there in silence, one thing came out of his mouth. Your numbers are better than mine. Yeah, they are, aren't they? And the only difference, we're doing exactly the same activity. Like, we're both reaching out to 600 people on LinkedIn. So what's the difference? The difference is I understand that the majority of people right now are red and yellow and they're not green. And therefore, we have processes in place to make sure that we attract every single person that's got the pain point. If I look at our day yesterday, new client came on board who had been around us for 4.5 years. They put their hand up last week and said, we're ready. I said, where have you been for 4 years? Because I remember them coming to a little half-day workshop at Manly Beach 4 years ago. Said, what's happened? Life's been in the way. They've had a death in the family. They've had someone else get very sick. They've gone through separation. They've gone, like, that happens. Sometimes life's in the way. You don't control when someone becomes green. You control educating, nurturing, staying front of mind to help them become green. But you don't control when someone chooses to become green. So therefore, that person was 4.5 years. Then we had someone else earlier in the day who was driving, they're up in Brisbane, was driving the car and he went on his Apple podcast app, I want to learn something about referrals. Typed in referral marketing into the search bar in his Apple podcast, up we come. He listens to 30 episodes from Friday through to Sunday, sends a message on Messenger. Been listening to your podcasts, amazing. Can we please chat? I'd like to see if you can help us. So that person came within 3 days. You don't choose when someone becomes green. So instead, what you have to have is the structure to get every single person who's got a pain point. So if you've got a pain point in our case, generating more clients without spending money on ads, needing more referrals, then that's the person that we want to bring into our pool. Now, if you want to do something else or not, that shouldn't be your thought process. That shouldn't be what you worry. Like if that's your mentality, you've got chasing mentality rather than attracting mentality. So let's come over and let's look at this. Really, there are four main things that you've got to really have to position yourself. The first one is all about, what are you known for? Like if you're not creating the perception that you are the go-to for something, you're no different to the other people who do the same thing that you do. And unfortunately, I haven't come across a single person yet where they're the only people that do that one thing. So, do you have your own unique ways? Possibly. But your prospects don't know or care about that. They just see that you're a HR consultant, that you're a personal trainer, that you're a whatever you are. They don't see you as unique and you've got this special little formula. Unless you're creating the perception that you are the go-to for something. So back in 2013, when we first started, we claimed straight away the number one authority for referral marketing training for service providers around the globe. And in those days, Kat and I were very proud of it. And then a few more people said it. And then a few more people said it. Then a few hundred people said it. Then a few thousand people said it. And now, speaking 60 plus times around the globe, we've got tens of thousands of people that see us as the number one authority. Now, are we? Who knows? But it doesn't matter. You could be the number one expert in XYZ using the ABC formula that you created. Well, you have to be the number one expert. No one else has the ABC formula. But as soon as you go number one expert, what have you just created? I am better than those other 80% that are on every other street corner that are a HR consultant or who are a personal trainer or who own a gym or who are whatever they happen to be. And that's the first starting point. Then the next thing you've got to look at is, how are you going to attract people to you? So that's around, what channels are you going to utilize that bring people into your pool, into your CRM? So it could be Facebook ads, it could be SEO, it could be pay-per-click, it could be referrals, it could be networking, it could be radio, TV, you get the point. A channel is just a channel. The difference in attracting, and I suppose where we really understand, is using that channel through some sort of tool to bring people to you. So you can grab a 9-point referral game plan. It's just a tool. You could grab 3 tactics to grow in your business in the next 30 days. It's just a tool. But instead of going, and this is the big mistake most people make around referrals, hey, referral partner, can you please listen out for me for someone who wants to be able to grow their business without spending money on ads? And when you come across them, just pass them my way. And we sit there twiddling our thumbs, hoping that that day's going to come, and it doesn't. Instead, how about we go, hey, referral partner, we've got this great tool setting out a game plan for people to be able to get more referrals. Would you mind sharing that? See, I'm finding channels to share something that then anyone that needs that thing comes back to me. So no one would get it unless they had the pain point. So therefore, I'm now not looking at grade people. So let's go the reverse. And let's just go, let's use the example from this guy this morning. LinkedIn outreach. Lots of people tell you to go onto socials and reach out to people and then send them a message. And let's cross our fingers and hope that that person actually has the pain point that we solve. That's hard work. Now, I'm not saying don't reach out to people. Having powerful conversations is one of our accelerators. Growing your networks with perfect people are one of your accelerators. But there's a difference to do it when you've got the mentality of understanding gray, red, yellow, green people. Like that mindset needs to consume you to then look at your activities and go, am I really trying to talk to gray people right now who are never going to do anything with me at all, ever? Because that's a waste of your time, effort. Am I only going after green people? If I'm only going after green people, I'm leaving so much money sitting on the table. Or am I attracting in a way that I'm getting red, yellow, green people coming in to my pipeline? Because from there, the next thing we've got to make sure we've got in place is how are we going to educate those people? How are we going to nurture them? How are we going to stay front of mind? Unfortunately, marketers have ruined most things in life. They find a way, like Facebook wasn't created for marketers. Marketers saw, hold on, here I can reach everyone in the world right now. So they ruined it. Or in fact, they probably helped Facebook to realize how they could actually make some serious money from it. But that's what happens. Right? People had emails to be able to communicate with each other. Marketers came along and went, hold on, I can now send you messages every single day if I wanted to, straight into your inbox. Email marketing was born. Now, every single time you get an email from someone you don't want to hear from, you cringe. Marketers have ruined it. Right? That's what happens. So what you've got to do is you've got to look at, now I've got someone who has the pain point, because that's why they came into my pipeline. How am I going to educate that person? And the more you can do that through a human element, the better. So that's why we run challenges. We run little masterclasses. We do little trainings. Because somebody who gets to actually experience you, see you, hear you, be around your passion has got 1,000 times more likelihood to do something with you, to buy your service, your product, whatever it is you're selling, than just simply if they came to your website or if they just got a guide or a template or a checklist. So you've got to be thinking, and I think this is a huge part that it consumes me. It really just drives me every single day, is human behavior, human brain chemicals, the physiology of our makeup, our 2 million year old brain and how it acts. Like when you understand that, you understand people and why people do what they do. I'd love to say that humans are unique. No. It is an absolute science that I could tell you exactly what you do and why you do it, because in our primitive ways, we're still in our primitive ways. And that's why having a way to be able to bring people in and then get them to actually understand you have a solution will increase your sales tenfold. It's why just because someone comes onto your website and fills in a form and then you get their phone number and you phone them is tough. And in fact, it's probably only a couple % will actually go through. Just because they did something in that moment, okay, they got a particular emotion, a particular feeling, so they did something in that moment. Well, within the next second or 10, they've lost that emotion feeling. It's gone. It's like you're starting again. And that's why, to me, being able to educate when you're actually with somebody is so powerful.
So, Michael, what I'm hearing here, mate, is when we go into that education, it says want to have that almost live conversation, like in the olden days where we used to go and meet up with people and have a coffee chat. But now actually is a situation where we now need to get hold of the person instead of actually just sending them just emails, but have a conversation which can be tailored.
Yeah. And there's so many different ways to be able to do that. So should you send what we call our value emails? 100%, because that's just little fronts of mind, and it's just being able to continue to nurture people. But then there's other things you've got to do for people who are more yellow to green, such as, hey, we ran last week our 3-day client referral challenge. Darren was on. And there we go, hey, this is what we're going to do. If you'd like to learn this, come join us. Did everyone come join us? No. Like probably only 3% of our people came and joined us. But it gives you then the ability to really focus on those people because they're obviously at a point where they're ready. And that's the thing about educating. It gets you down to this last part of getting green people who are ready to be able to raise their hands. I feel that majority of people in business hate sales. They've had some sort of experience in their life where at that very moment they went, I'm never going to be like that dodgy salesperson in my life. And therefore, they've put up this block or they've done whatever internally to go, I hate sales. You've been selling your whole life. If you've got children, look at them. They're magical at sales. How many times have you said no and then eventually you just say yes? We can learn some persistence from them.
Well, absolutely. I mean, persistence is the key because when it comes to asking, it's actually just a question, isn't it? Really?
Correct. And that's the key.
It's just
asking is simply a question. It's not sales. It's seeing whether someone actually wants help or not. So if you hate sales, that's fine. You don't have to be afraid of asking. Because asking is just going. I'll just pick, I can see Amanda on my screen. Asking is just going, hey, Amanda, would you like to brainstorm some ideas to be able to get some more referrals into your business? And Amanda either says yes or she says no. It doesn't matter either way. And that's how you've got to be, and that's how good you've got to be at it. Where you just simply know your question, there's no emotion attached to it, and someone either wants help with that or they don't.
It was something that you did a little while ago, and you it was some time ago, but you created 13 questions, ask questions. And guys, just listen to what I have to say here, because what Michael is saying is he's asking for the what's next process to ask a question, do you need help? Now, what Michael did in the training we did with him is to come up with all these different types of asks. Some are, a yes or no, maybe it's a multiple choice with only 2 or 3 answers. So it's not actually closing the sale, it's asking, have you got your hands up? Now, we've got known for, attract, educate, and ask. Just curious if any of you guys got any questions for Michael with regards to those 4 quadrants. So has anyone got any? Come off mute or put it in the chat box. Ask them a question, because it's a good time to actually do that, because you're going to show you some other modalities now, but you might want to put it into your perspective. If you've got a question or two, come off mute and fire away. I'll give you 5 seconds to do the button pushing, and then we'll keep going. All right, mate, no questions. Let's keep rocking.
Amanda, go for it.
No. Michael, have you got a really good example of a business or someone that you've worked with who's got a really good what they're known for, what you've transitioned them from to?
Yeah, hundreds. What do you do, Amanda?
I own a fitness business. It's a big PT studio with group exercise in Hobart.
Yep, great. Okay, so I sort of go, when working this out, we go, what's the sad face? Why do people come to you? What's the happy face? What's the result you get them when they finish? And then to work that piece out, it's very much you use leading expert, authority, etc., helping who to achieve what through what process. So it's a fairly structured framework to be able to come up with that. So when you go, let's just take a recent one where it might be the leading expert helping separated parents to settle their differences for the benefit of the child using our XYZ formula. So if you think about you guys, who do you mainly have in there, or who do you target? Is it everybody? What's the result you're trying to get them? And do you have some sort of methodology that can be unique to you guys? And sometimes this is where we start needing to transition from simply being a business owner to being a thought leader. Because I'm sure they probably have a whole bunch of other options of fitness centers, gyms around you. So why pick you over someone else? Well, we always want to go as humans. We always want to be to what we perceive to be the best. Now, whether it is or isn't, it doesn't matter. It's our own perception. And it's like no different. So much to do with business and marketing has got exactly to do with human behavior and just relationships in general. And in particular, like no matter where someone's at in life, dating, you look for a partner who is more, who you feel is at a higher standard, higher up on the ladder than where you're at. That's what we just do as humans. That's our primal instinct. Well, we do that looking for who we're going to use in business too. So Steve here does his sales, and I'll just make up, John does his sales. If I'm looking between the two, I'm looking for the person who I feel has higher standing, higher credibility, higher natural selection than the other person. Now, whether we actually know we're doing that consciously, we are definitely doing it subconsciously. So that's why being able to create and be more of a thought leader around how you help people. It's not just, oh, we help you get fit and we help you lose weight, or we help you. It's got to be more than that, because that's what everyone else says.
So Amanda said that she had an avatar that was around about the 45 to 65 mark. So what Michael's saying here, Amanda, is that you might say, one of the areas we specialize, where our experts in, is helping people at 45 plus to get healthy, well, lose weight, get stronger, and have a wellness. And then say that you specialize and you're experts in that area. Sure, you help other people, but from my memory, that was part of your avatar. That was where your USP, especially in Hobart.
Yeah, no, that's correct. We've got 35% of our members over 60, and that's one of our 3 marketing strategies, that we can look after people who are had more birthdays, got more aches and pains, and more chronic lifestyle diseases.
Yeah, perfect.
Well,
So
tell the market you're an expert in that area, and then you are, or the leading authority, like Michael said.
Correct. So it's like the leading expert in Hobart, helping 50 years plus to whatever result through, and now you just need to create a system. It's no different to what you do. You've just got your own formula.
We have got that system, but I was just interested in any other examples that we could add to that.
If you pop into the $1 Million Referral Network group, the Facebook group, you'll see a whole bunch of people there who, when you look at their profile, so you've got lots of people there. So let me come back. Always wary of time and always go over, Steve. Known for attract, educate, and ask. When you've got that, that's what then allows us to start going to 4 circles. Now we've got the attract part taking place. Now we've got people raising their hands rather than you having to chase people. Now you can qualify to make sure that they actually fit into what you do and how you do it, and you can actually help them. So because now someone comes along this process, it's like they know that they're having to go through the selection process to be chosen rather than you begging to be able to get a client. The person who feels that they're in control, they are. And Steve will tell you in the sales process, the less talking you do, the better off you are. The more you can be quiet and listen, the more control you are in. Not the more talking you do, the more control you're in. It's the opposite. Well, same here. Okay? If they come to you, if they raise their hand, if they then have to go through a process to be qualified, by the time you get to the conversation, is there a fit, the sales part, they're begging to talk to you rather than you begging to talk to them. Think about the change in positioning that just happened from simply outreach, please come on a call, please come on a call, please come on a call, I'll drop the price, I'll do this, I'll do whatever I have to do to become a client. And then that client will be a complete pain in the backside because they know they're in control and not you. Steve.
Does this mean that it's important to really quantify our USP to make sure that in your dialogue, then you have, and I think you said it a number of times, and Michael's very good at putting his words together, but actually naming a process and making it, you own it, so they can't go anywhere else for it?
Yeah. I feel it's why it's so important, and something, as you know, that we do with our guys very early on is like, we've got sad face. Why do they come to you? What are their pain points? You've got happy face. What are the benefits, results by the time they finish? Well, what you do from sad face to happy face, if you haven't realized already, is a system, is a process. And that's what you've got to create and develop. You've got to turn it into a system. We've got our $1 million referral system. That's what we help our guys create. Right? You've got to have something that is yours, because then we can simply go, hey, Steve, would you like to generate 100 clients in 12 months with no ad spend through our $1 million referral system? Steve's like, I haven't heard anyone mention.
So it has to be a tangible. So it's that USP has to be a tangible, a process, a system, something that's unique. And because you have the $1 million referral system, people want to have the system because the outcome will be a result of using the system, and that's what they pay money for.
Spot on. And that's so much easier than trying to sell air. And that's what most people are selling, is air. Not because they're meaning to, but just simply because they haven't given enough thought into how do you get a tangible thing that really only you have. So now you're no longer like any other gym owner. You have this one thing that no one else has. You either want it or you don't want it, and either way's fine. Perfect. To you, Steve.
What I'd like to do is to say, if we're going to create 100 leads or 100 clients in 12 months, which is breaking it down into all of the different processes, is there a way of attracting people that is better than others to be able to go through that nurturing component to get their hands up? Now, you said 4.5 years was one person. So is the key here to going out to the market to say that you do something different and you have the USPs, and using a top of funnel activity to be able to attract as many people in the top of funnel, and then go through your nurturing process, whether it's via video, whether it's free challenges and so forth? Is the first part of that a top of funnel activity to be known as an expert and punching it through there? And if so, what's let's say 2 ways that people could do that?
Yes. So if you don't have people coming into your pipeline, into your CRM every single day, you've got no one to sell to. So every single day we need to be, how am I bringing warm, qualified people who have the pain point that I solve into my CRM? Right? So that could be done by, hey, after I finish this, we're going to jump on to our social platforms and we'll do about a 10-minute little training. And during that training, we'll offer a 112 guide. And we'll give people the link to be able to go and grab our 112 guide. Now, the only people who are going to get that 112 guide are people who have the pain point, who think that the 112 guide might actually solve the pain point that they have. Do they know that it will? They can't. Right? They haven't seen it. But so that's one way that we could do it. Right? We could just simply share that we've got this particular thing. If you'd like to get a copy, here's where you go get a copy. Right? So there's one thing we could do to bring people into our CRM. We could go to a referral source. So I'll stay with Amanda. Amanda, they're in Hobart. Let's just go that Amanda's people come from within, 5 to 10 kilometers of Amanda's business. So Amanda could go, okay, so where else do these 50, 60-year-olds go? Is there a cafe? Is there a country club? Is there somewhere that they all go and hang out? And then Amanda could go to that place and go, hey, we've got this great little checklist for improving your strength to live a great later years in life. Would you mind sharing that? And again, they share it, and the only people that get it are the people who actually are interested in that, who are interested in their health and improving their strength and so forth. So 2 ways there. You could just do something on your own socials, and you could use a referral source to be able to share out some sort of guide or template or checklist, in which if someone wants that, they've got to give you their details to be able to receive it. There's 2 ways to be able to attract.
So once we've got them into the track, then there's the nurture, and then there's the call to action, I suppose. So it's sometimes it's immediate, and there will be, I've got the guide. What's next? Well, it could be something that receives in an email, or you might put on, hey, why don't you join us on a live event for 1 hour, and then they can come and taste the fruit. And on that event, they can say, well, come in and book a time to come and see us at our club for Amanda. And maybe give them a mini membership. Don't give them a free pass, give them a mini membership that's worth something. So we don't, in the fitness industry, gone are the days of free passes.
Can't stand it.
Those things are just very old school. You want to give them a mini membership that has a value, and you much, as you say, a mini membership for weight loss, toning, strengthening, and so forth. Or it could be a wellness mini membership, value that, and then off you go. So that's a better way than having a free pass. So, there's a couple of things for Amanda.
Yeah, perfect. That's why it pays to jump on your session, Steve, so that you can actually get help there and then on the spot, rather than watching as a replay and you miss out. So, okay, let's bring this back together. Let's wrap it up. So we look at what we've gone through. How are you getting your 4 Qs? How are you getting your knowing for, your attract, your educate, your ask? They're all individual processes that make up your marketing. Marketing is not, let's throw money at Facebook ads, let's do SEO, let's do pay-per-click, let's go to a networking event. That's not marketing. That is a channel, and that's all it is. And a channel alone will never grow your business. You need other aspects that go with the channel. So from that then allows you to be a 4 stepping stone person rather than a 2 stepping stone person. A 4 stepping stone person ensures that you are positioning yourself rather than having to chase. We talk to our guys all the time. You have to be the prize. If you are not the prize, it's hard. I don't know anyone in their life that doesn't want to be the prize in anything. So in business, be seen as the prize. Act like the prize. Do the things that make you the prize. In every industry, 80% of people scrap for the last 20% of clients. The top 20% of people get 80% of the clients. It's in every industry. Why? Because the top 20% know that they're the prize. They've got this in what I call a really good way. They've got a good arrogance about them. Right? Not a look at me arrogance. They've got a good arrogance. They know that they help. They've become more thought leader than business owner. It's the third phase in a business. You start off being a business worker. You've got a business, but you're working the whole time. You might as well just have a job. You're a business worker. Then you become a business owner. And now you've got people doing other things for you. You can now do just what you want. You've got a business. Then from there, you turn into thought leader. That's where we've got to be, in the thought leader stage of business. Then the final stage is how you become a contributor, how you can make it more of an impact for the rest of society, because everything else is running really well at your end. So let's go from being a business worker to a business owner to now a thought leader. And that's what the top 20% do. They're more thought leaderish around how am I the prize? How am I demonstrating? And always just going, how do we make things better? I'm going to leave with this. I'm a whole bunch of different, just jumped around here, Steve, but that's okay. But I'm going to leave with this. Like, what's the impact you want to make? Do you even know? So we are so clear and so driven. In 2021, we will help 50 members generate 100 new clients with no ad spend in 2021. Now, that alone is nice, but that's not the thrilling part. The thrilling part is that those members are going to help all of these other people, all of their own clients, who are then going to go and help all these other people, who will then go and help all these other people. And we have just had this ripple effect throughout society with people that we didn't even know existed, because we're helping our guys. Now, I'm awake at 4:58, 4:59 every day without an alarm, just simply because it's like, let's go. Let's do this thing. What impact do you want to make? Do your people even know that? Do your current clients know the impact you want to make? Do your prospects know the impact you want to make? That's what becoming a prize is all about, is that you've got that level of thinking.
So that's the focus is around purpose, and making sure that the purpose that you're in business is really well, let's say, told to the prospective clients and also people that are in your nurturing bucket. It's not just a result, but why do you do what you do, and combine it with what are you known for. So if those things are combined, I think that would be a nice way of packaging that up together.
So true.
So, Michael, how can people get in contact with you, mate? And you're talking about there was a Facebook page. I know there's a lot of people in there. Is there a place where people can, I know you've got a significant amount of tools in the Facebook page within files. I know there's lots of downloads in there. And where could they find you?
Let's go, nice little guide, 112.com. And by getting that guide, you'll see the Facebook group. If you don't feel like getting a guide and you just want to go into the Facebook group, that's fine. That Facebook group is called the $1 Million Referral Network. So if you search that on Facebook, you will find it. And they're the best two places to be able to come hang out, continue the learning, and join in the fun.
Absolutely. Well, we've got an exciting 3 days with Michael coming up, so we're going to be deep into all this stuff. But guys, I would strongly recommend that you jump into the $1 Million Referral Network. There's lots of people talking. It's a very active community and a significant amount of tools, but also grab the 10 and 12 a guide, because it has all the what to do and how to do it. So, mate, thanks so much for sharing your wisdom, mate. It's those 4 Qs, making sure that people are really clear on those and having it linked to their USPs and putting a tangible into that, and not just expecting the 2% to be your bread and butter. I think that's really good food for thought. So thanks, mate. I appreciate your time today.
Absolute pleasure, Steve. Always a pleasure.
All right, gang, what's your action plan? Action plan is everything, because at the end of the day, it's not about what you heard, it's about what you do. So We love to see what you do. So put your comments down below. This will be available for our Sales Authority Club as a replay. For those who would like it and see it, put your name down there and we'll reach out and we'll organize it for you. All right, gang. Well, thank you for joining us today. We'll see you soon. Bye for now.